folks. Welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show. What an honor it is today to be with, as you can see, a pretty decorated drummer, great musician, and a cat who is connected with me through the spirits. Spencer Ferrarin, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Hey, happy to be here.
Can you talk a little bit about if the music found you? I mean, in the sense of some people, they take classical lessons, they take piano or violin their whole lives. They wind up basically taking orders from a conductor their whole life. Mm-hmm. And they might make some dough, but I'm not sure if they're necessarily really playing the music they want to play. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder about if you feel like the music found you in your life.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have a bit foundation of studying, like in my earlier years, but all the music I play now is definitely stuff that calls to me or I've found.
Well, I mean,
from the heart.
What was your training? I mean, what was the essence of that? A few lessons, or did you go to the academy at all?
I had a private drum instructor for about 5 years, from like 8th grade to like my senior year of high school, Wes Hawkins, and I learned so much from him, and he introduced me to a lot of the music that I love now.
Is he still with us?
Yeah.
So what's his background? I mean, ultimately, what is the most salient thing that you learned? My issue with the academy is just if you stay in it too long, you come out sounding like your professors. Uh-huh. You know, and I just wonder what it is that he taught you. It doesn't even have to be a rudimentary thing. What was some of the salient stuff he taught you?
Well, there's a lot, like all the music he introduced to me. Like he had me when I first started going to see him. I made a mixed CD of everything I was listening to, and he made a mixed CD back of all the things that it reminded him of that he liked, and that opened me up to like all kinds of new music that is some of my favorite stuff now. And he always pushed me. Like we would pretty much every lesson like trade eighths at the beginning or end of the lesson, and just be able to improvise with each other and like feed off each other's ideas, and
like kind of just playing games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what was on your mixtape early on? A lot of like. I
listened to a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up. Yeah.
I mean that's not unlike most of the cats. I mean that's our I mean I'm 40, just turned 45, but I mean you were like, talk a little bit about how he helped you feather the kick drum. Were you already feathering at that point, or like, because these are subtle things that are lost arts, especially in like psychedelic rock or spiritual music, where sometimes the backbeats just can sound like machine guns. Did he help you with the feathering technique?
Yeah, we worked on a lot of foot technique, definitely, and I was pretty just bashing and basic.
Oh man, give me some video of that, dude. Yeah. So you were bashing. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little, I mean, maybe even demonstrate for the younger cats about, I mean, you're still hitting pretty hard.
Yeah.
But it still feels good, you know, within that setting. But I just wonder if you can talk a little bit about, you know, how you feel like you've evolved as a drummer, you know, from maybe just from the idea of not even sonically, but just, you know, the idea that less is more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's always the most important thing is serving the music, and a big part of drums. I think the important thing is the groove, definitely, and you want to. If you're overcomplicating it, it just takes away from the essence of the music and the groove and what needs to be communicated for people to feel it.
Specifically, did he hip you to? Like, what kind of music? Was it Philly Joe? Like, were you aware of some of these masters of the drums?
I really wasn't. Before I started studying, no. I had like Art Blakey CD was the first like jazz CD I got, probably like my freshman year of high school. I got some Art Blakey and Bill Jackson.
Oh yeah.
But
Blakey plays loud. I mean, you know, that guy's an animal, you know. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I listen to guys like, I don't know, man. Like some of these more obscure but amazing cats. There's a guy named Eddie Marshall who passed away, who was in the Fourth Way.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to. If can you demonstrate about the thing I loved about Eddie was just he was not relying on the bass drum to keep time. He was like, it was the ride, it was the top of the kit.
Yeah.
It was just painting. Like, and that's what Lou Marini, I put up this, maybe you saw it the other day, where he talked about going to the Kennedy Center to see Herbie.
Yeah.
And Jack DeJohnette was there, and when they weren't filming, but when they got into this trio thing, he said Jack was not concerned about keeping time for other people. He wanted to paint.
Yeah.
Do you dig that? I mean, to me, like, I feel like drummers sometimes can get too locked into what they think their responsibility is, when in fact the band should be keeping time together to allow you to go off and be able to paint. You can riff on that. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't, like, if I have to keep the time for someone, I feel restrained playing with them usually.
You would say that none of the outfits you're in right now, that's really, everyone's flowing together. You just want to flow together. You know?
Yeah. We all want to be working together. No one should be having to hold someone up. You know, we just want to be able to communicate and spread the message. You know.
Talk a little bit about, like, one of these these outfits that you're in. I mean, talk a little bit about how, when you say that everything that you do artistically sort of comes from source, is that how you find people to play with as well? In terms of, like, you know, you run, you know, because you run into somebody, maybe they don't have the biggest chops in the world, but it just feels good to play.
Yeah. Like Psychedelephants is the band I've been in.
Psychedelephants, yeah. Let's riff on that.
And the longest. We've been playing. Me and Paul, the singer, have been playing together probably 9 years now. We had another band before, and we can just get in a room and improvise together, and we know each other's language so well now that pretty much anytime we jam, we can come up with the start of a song idea, you know.
So just the germ of even a new tune.
Yeah.
The Psychedelephant. So I mean, what is the? Talk a little bit about how that band has evolved. I mean, obviously is every song. Can you leave the head of the tune and go out, or are there 3 or 4 minute cuts in a live setting?
We have sections where we can really go out, and it won't end until we're all like making like eye contact.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of structured songs too, and then all the in between. We'll do some live improv too. You know.
How did you get comfortable? Well, it's always a concept that I loved that was fashioned by the Grateful Dead drummers and Phil Lesh, for that matter, which was people will get lost. Like, where's the one? Where's the downbeat? And like Billy Kreutzmann would say, any note can be the one. And most people say, what the hell are you talking about? But in that Psychedelephant setting, can you talk about losing the one and then the exhilaration of basically being with people you trust and then finding it and coming back in at the same time? Because some people are just petrified if they lose that downbeat.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's always going to come back around again. So can you just talk about how you've evolved from a younger drummer to somebody now where maybe you relish that idea, that opportunity?
Yeah. It's exciting to take risks, and when you're with people that you can really trust to keep it together too. It's definitely a very exciting thing. We do that every once in a while with Psychedelephants, where we'll just be playing and you have to really listen in and find the one again, and everyone's been off on their own tangent. And
talk about, was there an experience early on where it was like you were frightened by it, like how you got comfortable letting go of that, the idea that there had to be this definitive thing, this definitive downbeat? When was there a period of time when you did kind of fall on your face, but you look back on it and you realize that just made you a stronger player? You've never failed.
Definitely, there's been.
Can you talk about, because I just think it's okay. Yeah. No, the audience isn't going to really know anyway. But can you talk about a real experience of trial by fire kind of thing when you were still kind of wet behind the ears?
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty natural to, like, musicians tend to beat themselves up for, like, mistakes that most audiences don't even perceive. But
oh my God! Yeah. I mean, dude, I worry about how many people have checked out because of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
nobody knows in the audience.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Musicians are always their hardest critics.
Oh my God,
sure.
dude.
And I don't know, it's just been a kind of natural process of lightening up on yourself, I suppose. And there's a quote from Billy Martin. He said, "Some of my best ideas are mistakes," and I've always after
Billy.
hearing that,
I hope he hears that. Dude,
Yeah.
Billy Martin, dude. What a
Yeah.
cantankerous, beautiful cat, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant artist. Do you consider yourself a painter on the drum kit? I mean, because most drummers be like, I gotta lock the time, I gotta keep the time, and I'm even, and to me, it's like, I don't know. I go back to DeJohnette. Mm-hmm. He piano player as well, which is a percussive instrument, but he's keeping some form of the time, but man, he's everywhere and he's painting. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder if you consider yourself somebody who, and I'm not talking about using like too much language where it just is kind of too much.
Yeah.
But like, where are you at in that aesthetic of being a painter?
Yeah, I think it's about bringing in the right colors with the right, like, playing things the right. Yeah, it's definitely about painting. It's a blend of how to put it well.
Talk. So I mean, with the psychedelics, like,
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Have you always had, because the way to paint is if you have dynamics.
Yeah.
It's not like you can start at 11 and never. I mean, some bands I can't deal with the cats that turn it up at 11, never do anything, and it just stays that same sonically. Mm-hmm. Did you guys develop dynamics over time?
We've definitely developed a lot. We started as a very loud band,
thrashing, get me the tapes early on.
Yeah.
So it was a pounding band.
Yeah.
What was the period where you were like, as a group, you were like, was there a specific tune you can point to, or some place where you were like, whoa, that got quiet?
Really, the last album that we put out, Hazel, we made a conscious effort to focus on bringing things down and focusing on dynamics, and it's a soundtrack to a comic book that our singer Paul wrote.
Oh, he wrote the comic. What's the name of it? Oh, it's called Hazel?
It's called Hazel, yeah.
What's the concept behind what's the theme behind the comic?
It's based on like film noir stuff, so it follows a detective. So it's got a lot of, we tried to bring in a lot of classic 60s and 70s vibes, and use they use like vintage amps and things like that, and it was just really about minimalism and getting as much from.
That's the key word.
Yeah.
Did everybody hit at the same time? No overdubs?
No, we did. We tracked drums live, and then we did overdub everything over it.
Tell me about. I mean, that to me is again. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have the technology to do that. Have you guys just ever recorded, no baffles in a room, maybe some leakage? To me, like, there's something authentic about just hitting live.
Yeah, we've done it before, and there is definitely a certain fun energy to it, but they're perfectionists with their parts, definitely, and it's nice. Like, I overdubbed a bunch of percussion and all kinds of things like that, so it's fun to be able to add those layers in afterwards.
Spencer, you want to paint a little bit for us on the kit? Can you do some themes? Yeah. questions for you. Do you feel that? Can you just talk about how rhythm has healed you in your life? For me, I mean, psychotherapy. I mean, I did that for a long time, and it's great. But the only thing that puts me at ease now is vibration. Yeah. And I just wonder, I know you do it for a living, so you sing for your supper, but in general, has vibration, rhythm, and music healed you in your life?
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have music to go to turn to. It's always been the thing that's made me feel whole again. And yeah, after playing or creating with people, that's like the most renewed I feel usually, And listening to music too is
and immediately everything just goes up.
Yeah.
Has it saved your life?
I feel like it's directed my life. I don't know.
Explain that. How has it directed your life? Explain that.
It's the main thing that ignites any passion in me.
I did.
Yeah. Like, I love just reading about music or researching cats, what albums they played on, everything. Like, looking at records, anything about music just instantly makes me feel at ease and at peace.
Tell me a little bit. I mean, have you been a band leader before, or I guess my larger question is like, Dave Holland, when I interviewed him, he kept saying that when Train joined Miles, he kept coming up to him and saying, Train kept coming up to Miles and saying, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to play?" And Miles kept turning his back on him, and Train realized that Miles wanted him to be himself. And I just wanted you to talk about, regardless of whether you have aspirations to be a band leader, you have been, you've never been, what are the most effective qualities of leadership on the bandstand?
Yeah, I think encouraging individuality is definitely the most important thing. Allowing everyone to be themselves and wanting them to be there to express themselves, encouraging everyone to contribute and really making it a group effort.
What is your concept of love? How do you bring love to the world?
I would say love is just the openness to giving and caring and dedicating yourself to improving everything around you,
Letting Jake Feinberg come in and do an interview.
Yeah.
I'm like, some of these questions are not your garden variety, but I just, can you just talk about where you feel at this point you need to grow the most, either on the bandstand or just personally, where you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone in order to grow right now?
There's always, I can pushing myself to have better chops or to maintain the balance, keeping my chops up to like where they've always been. Sometimes I feel myself not dedicating myself to enough practice and slipping behind. So really the struggle is just finding the life balance to push myself on and always evolve as a player.
Sometimes cats that I love that are road dogging it right now, they would say they keep their chops up by playing live.
Yeah.
Constantly. How often do you play per week? Do you feel like you play enough live? Because to me that sort of allows that anxiety to go away. If you're playing live, then you're sharp.
Yeah.
As opposed to just sitting here working out rudiments or obviously practicing is different for everybody, but how many gigs do you play a month? Are you satisfied with the amount of live gigs?
Ideally it would be at least once a week, and that doesn't always happen. Things have been a lot more inconsistent since the pandemic.
A lot, yeah.
So April, I have a bunch of shows. I have like 10 shows between like the 16th of April and the 16th of May. And then like March, I had like one or two shows, you know. But
what do you
I
got coming
keep
up? 'Cause
myself
I'm
busy.
coming up to see you, man. Like,
Yeah.
what do you got coming up that is out? Psychedelephants, or what other gigs you got from April to into May?
A Psychedelephants and a Casual Divorce have a couple gigs through City of Tempe, actually, at a couple different parks. There's each band's doing 2 gigs at parks in Tempe.
Beautiful.
That's the like Arts in the Parks program. Both those bands got picked to be on the like City of Tempe
Casual
playlist.
Divorce. So wait, is that original music?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What
you
is
would love
that?
a Casual Divorce.
What? No, dude. What is
yeah.
that music?
So we have keyboardist and bass player who male keyboard singer, female bass player singer.
Oh my god!
And Garrett on saxophone.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude! When is that? What date is that?
That's probably all these down.
Checking the date book here, getting healed through rhythm.
19th is the first one in the park. Casual Divorce.
April 19th.
April 19th.
What's the day? What day is that?
It's a Wednesday.
What time?
We play at 5.
Dude,
Yeah.
we will pick this conversation up there, my brother.
Yeah,
and
it's
I just want to
excellent.
say, man, thank you so much. It is so good to connect with you. This journey will never end. Like in music, you never learn everything there is to know.
Yeah. Certainly.
It's a forever journey. And for me, as you get a little more hip to my books, and you'll see as a rogue journalist, the path that I'm carving. And I hope, if more than anything else, it inspires you to continue to push yourself out of your comfort zone and keep inspiring other cats, because that's important in this time, brother.
Thank you. It's an honor talking to you. The people you've interviewed are so many of
Dude,
my
you're
heroes.
one of the cats, dude. You're part of the brother and sisterhood
It's-
now, baby.
Yeah, it's an honor to be.
And it's just the beginning,
amongst
man.
them.
All right? It's just the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
Take care, my brother. It was an honor.
Thank you. You too.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.